Welcome back to my channel, friends. Thank you for joining us again. Today we're just doing a quick vlog on our first day at the Center Parcs. This trip was not planned and it was very last minute. We were lucky enough to get a very good deal on a 3-bedroom Woodland lodge. We are a family of 5 with 3 kids and 2 adults. We are booked for 4 nights, so arriving on Monday afternoon and checking out on a Friday morning. The lodges will be available at 4 p.m. and this is when they will open the barriers for you to drive your car in. But of course, guests are more than welcome to arrive earlier if they would like to use the facilities or attend any activities they booked prior to arrival. I'm not gonna lie, packing for the 5 of us in order to fit everything in one suitcase, packing food, water, and extra shoes and gear was quite challenging for our tiny little car to fit everything. I don't know how we did it, but it worked out fine. On the day of the trip, everybody was slightly tired and slow moving, so we did not actually leave the house until after 1 p.m. I was slightly concerned with the weather as it didn't look very good forecasted for the week. However, the trip there was nice and relaxing despite the rain. Upon arriving, there was a little lineup of traffic, but that's expected considering we are close to check-in time at 4 p.m. It was a very smooth check-in process where you're handed a map and 3 key wristbands that we can use throughout our stay to unlock the lodge or any lockers that we will use at the swimming pool. It was a very short wait for us in the car park until the barriers were opened at 4 p.m. sharp. Everything is very user-friendly and efficient with signs and clear markings along the way to find where you need to get. When we arrived, the donuts that we had pre-ordered for our arrival was already waiting inside, which was such a nice touch. I was concerned that the only time slot available for us to pick it up was upon check-in and that we would not be at the lodge in time, but then when we arrived it was already sitting inside the lodge, so that was really nice. So I decided to showcase a little bit of what was in the lodge because I did find there was very little information on their actual website, especially with utensils and things like that. So everything you would need is already there, which was more than I expected and was forever grateful for. The fridge and freezer is quite small, but if you're not bringing too much, that's okay, and you can always top up your supplies at the pack market there. There's a few dishwasher tabs and dishcloth. There was some baking trays which I wanted to show here because I was going to bake a few things while we're there, and I had bought my trays because I was concerned there wouldn't be any. But depending on what you want to do while you're staying at Center Parcs, whether you're going to be eating out the whole time or if you're planning to save some money and eat in, our plan was definitely to eat in as often as we could so that we could spend more money on the activities if needed. So we bought a lot of supplies, things like seasoning and condiments, oil, butter, cereal, and some frozen goods for quick meals, milk, and all of the basic essentials. I would recommend maybe bringing your own cleaning sponge if you want to hand wash a few things, and maybe a lighter if you want to light a little lodge fire, or some candles if you're doing something with your loved one. Bring your own water if you prefer to drink from the bottle instead of the tap, snacks and things like that. We basically bought what we had at home so that we didn't have to purchase anything to keep our expenses low. So things like jams and spreads and all kinds of things that you would use on a daily basis with fussy eaters. I have a toddler who cannot make up his mind on what he wants to eat, so we try to bring everything that suits him. It didn't take long for us to unpack, and we were lucky we were able to get some bed rails for my toddler. We did not know that we had to book this as well while we were making our booking. So luckily my husband contacted guest services on the morning that we were to arrive, and they were very accommodating, suggesting that if it was available they would bring it, and luckily for us there was one available for our son. We had a quick bite to eat and then headed to the swimming pool. We also wanted to walk around a little bit and take note of all the different locations as per the map. We weren't sure how far away things were, so this was a good post-dinner walk for us to settle the food before we got to the swimming pool. Overall, despite the weather, we were really excited. The walk to the waterfront and the village square was not long at all. I would say it was roughly 10 minutes. It's very relaxing, and you could feel the energy of families around who are just trying to enjoy their stay, get as much as family time as they can together, and do as much activities as they wish. Overall, our main goal was to get to the swimming pool so we could see what all the fuss is about. I think my kids were excited to use the water slides, the Twister, the Tropical Cyclone, the Typhoon one, and I was okay to just go in the wave pool. Center Parcs is very family centered. That is very clear when you enter the swimming changing areas. They do have lots of cubicles for families to change together if they need the privacy as a group. The lockers were easy to use, and just using your wristband, just click it in and unclick to unlock. There's also a special little screen there in case you've forgotten which locker number you had put it in, so you can always scan your wristband and it will tell you which locker you placed your items in. There were lots of areas for toddlers and babies and kids, for all ages. This is what I love the most about Center Parcs. Everything in this park is accommodating to children of all ages. I have 3 kids with 6 years gap between them, so it's very difficult to find a place that can accommodate for all of them. My eldest is 14 while my youngest is 3, so this is, in my opinion, the biggest selling point about Center Parcs. We spent almost 3 hours at the pool and were exhausted, but happily walking back to the lodge for our treat. For the remaining days at Center Parcs, we did have some activities booked, but not too many, as we just wanted to see how things would go upon arrival, which I'm glad we did. It did turn out that our kids were more interested in going swimming every second that they got. So if your kids are looking to do something particular, it would be best to book it before you come. There really was an endless amount of activities to choose from for all age groups. The restaurants as well have different varieties of cuisines to pick from. We did book at the Pancake House for Wednesday morning and did not commit to anything else, as we just wanted to see what everyone felt like in the week. They had a beautiful spa there, but I did not book anything as I was not sure what would happen in this trip with my toddler, and I'm glad I didn't. But for all the ladies that love a good spa, it is stunning. Anyways, if you've made it this far, thank you for watching. I do have a few more vlogs from our stay at Center Parcs. If you haven't subscribed, do subscribe, and I'll see you next time.